Hello, hello. All right, here we go. As promised, I am live. I'm a few minutes late, but I'm here. And I hope whoever can will join me. And if you cannot join me live, just come on the replay and drop a replay in the comments because that helps other people find the video and helps the algorithm. So I would really appreciate it if you do that. And if you also could just hit the like button, that also helps me a great deal. Get the word out that there is a new video and helps me to spread more, helps the algorithm as well. Hey Becky, thank you for coming on with me. All right, so let's talk about tonight's topic. It's all about training. When I first started training, I started with swimming because I was really interested in losing weight and I thought cardio was the best way to do it. I wasn't totally wrong. Cardio is a great way to get the scale weight to drop, but it doesn't do as much for fat loss. And over time, you need to do more and more and more in order for it to keep working. Because as I had mentioned in previous videos, when you do cardio, let's say you do a half an hour of walking. When you are done walking, the cardio burning of the calories ends. When you are done weightlifting for the same amount of time, that burn continues on for hours later as your muscles start to repair. So it's got a more metabolic effect, meaning it works with your metabolism longer. Now, the thing is you also build muscle over time when you are strength training. And so the scale may actually go up. So if your only goal is to lose weight, meaning the scale has to go down for some reason, then I would say focus on cardio alone. If, on the other hand, you want to build muscle and body recomposition, then I would say strength training is your way to go. And if you want both, then you can combine both cardio and strength. In which case I would say do 3 parts strength training to 1 parts cardio, or do HIIT strength training so that you get the cardio benefits and you get the strength training. Okay, so what do I mean by all that? So you may not be able to see this, but this will help me stay on track. So we've got cardio, which is good for a cardiovascular system. It burns a lot more calories per minute than strength training, but again, strength training is metabolic, so it continues at burning the calories long after we're done working out. You've got LISS, which is a steady state cardio like walking or running. It stays the same the whole time unless you vary it up the tempo. You've got HIIT, which is an interval training. I know the writing is backwards. I can't flip it around. It's just for me. The HIIT training is intensity training. So it's up and down and up and down. So then we have both of those, both strength training and cardio increases our flexibility and our endurance. The good thing about strength training is that you get endurance under pressure. So you've got that resistance. So that makes it much more difficult to do. But then when you go back to just straight cardio, it becomes easier. So there is that benefit that you are initially making it more difficult, which makes your everyday life easier, which is what we want. We want it to be very functional. So what is cardio? Well, you've got things like dance, swim, bike, hike, walk, stairs. You've got your Stairmasters, your ellipticals, and things like that. Your more cardio, straight cardio things. Then you have calisthenics. So calisthenics is a mixture of body weight exercises that build strength, but it's a lean muscle. So you're not going to get super bulky by doing calisthenics. And as women, we don't actually get bulky any of these because we don't have testosterone enough to do that. Even women who want to go ahead and bodybuild have to work extra hard to build up that testosterone, to build up that muscle. And it takes years and years and years. Calisthenics then, your pull-ups, your push-ups, your muscle-ups, all of the things that you see like at a CrossFit, all your really heavy-duty body weight exercises. Then you have your strength training. Your strength training is your traditional weightlifting. You're using of bands, so resistance bands, cables, which you've seen before with cable lifts, and loops, those little bands and mini bands that we put on our legs and our arms. Again, you have a longer metabolic burn. You can recomposition your body, meaning that you can make the fat turn into muscle, where the muscle gets so big it just burns up the fat is really what happens. You are strengthening your bones and your muscles to alleviate osteopenia and osteoporosis, and you are increasing your balance, your flexibility, and your endurance. So those are obviously a great side effect of strength training. So then let's talk about the different styles of strength training versus cardio. So cardio, you really are set with a very limited amount of cardio choices in the ones that I mentioned. There's different ways to strength train. So one, you could use just body weight like we talked about in calisthenics, but there's different splits. So when I first started weight training, strength training, it was very traditional. You would do back and biceps one day, chest and triceps another day, legs, shoulders, core, and you would rotate. Now you might combine some of them depending on how you did it, but it was pretty much by body part or complementary body parts. The thought process was that you are really focusing on one area, which is great, and I still do that sometimes. The newer methodology is to do it in a push and a pull method. The push and pull method then is anything that you're pulling toward yourself or pushing away from yourself. So let me give you some examples. On a push, you'd have a goblet squat, so you're here and you're pushing everything down. You have your back squat, so any of your squats, your lunges, your calf raises, your push-ups, your bench presses, you're pushing it away. On your pulls, you have things like glute bridges, deadlifts, pull-throughs, kettlebell swings, leg curls, so you're pulling things up, your bicep curls, so any of those. So it categorizes by push and pulls. The reason that works so well is because you're not overtaxing muscles. So let's say you're working back and biceps, right? And the next day you're doing chest and triceps, using some of the same muscles. Therefore, you might be overtaxing those muscles by training them 2 days in a row. But if you were to say, I did back and biceps and legs the next day, and then chest and triceps and legs the next day, because you really should train legs at least twice a week, then you would be at a good split, and it really wouldn't matter whether it's push or pull. So that's something to keep in mind when you're setting up your training schedules. If you're doing 3 days a week or less, we do total body, meaning it doesn't matter what the split is. You just work every muscle in your body and you move on. If you're doing 4 days or more, that's when you need to worry about the split. Let's talk about training itself, whether it's cardio or if it's strength training. One of the things you have to keep in mind is how do you progress? In cardio, it's doing it for a longer period of time, or HIIT training, where you're really doing it hard for a certain amount of time and then take a break, and hard, so you've got that up and down of your cardiovascular system, burning more fat that way. In strength training though, you can also do that. So you do our 10-minute AMRAPs or HIITs, but you can also vary it up by the amount of weight that you're lifting. So the heavier you lift, being safe, the more you will burn. Now the caveat to that is you want to make sure that you're not overtaxing your muscles. So you'll hear a term called lifting to failure. That means you do as many reps as you can before you just cannot lift it again. So if you're doing really light weights, that takes a really long time, and who's got all that time to do it? Not many people, right? So if you are doing a set of light weights, a set of medium weights, a set of heavy weights, when you get to that heavy weight and you get to the failure, you get to the point where you absolutely cannot lift it anymore, that is the most efficient way to build muscle and to burn off fat. And so in that way, we can speed up the process of hypertrophy, really make a difference in our definition. And it does take still a long time to do it. I'm still working at it, 4 and 5 years later. Some people are naturally leaner and they will show up faster and they'll just drop body weight really fast. But I'm also here to tell you that, is it so important to be at a lean body weight that you have, 6-pack abs? Is that like super important for life? Probably not. When you're 80 years old, no one's going to care if you have abs. More important is, are you strong enough and are your bones and muscles strong enough to keep you in a healthy a healthy fat range, and also keep your bones and muscles strong so that if you fall, you're not going to break a hip or you're not going to break an arm or a leg. These are things that are really important as we age. It's not just about how we look. It's about how strong we are and how the quality of life is improved. You know, has our blood pressure fixed itself? Has our diabetes, our pre-diabetes gone away? These are the important things, and this is why I say be consistent. Be consistent. It's really important, and you're not going to get there by training alone. Nutrition is like 80% of being healthy, but this certainly helps. If you can burn off more fat, your journey will go a lot faster and a lot better, right? Whether you burn it off through steady state cardio and you're walking all the time, or whether you're lifting heavy to the best of your ability, do something. Don't just stay the same. I encourage you to mix it up, really try different things. You can combine it. I like to walk every day and lift every day. Now, my lifting usually consists of a 10-minute AMRAP style workout, full body, and then I do a specific body part for 10 minutes as well, so that I am hitting different areas of my body in concentration and then getting the results, the fat burn through a 10-minute workout. Because, we just don't have all day. Now, a lot of the cardio I have comes from teaching water fitness because it's very cardio-esque. And when you're not in the water, you're not getting that resistance. And that's something else I forgot to mention. If your cardio is swimming or water-related, you're getting the extra benefit of the hydrostatic pressure of the water. So let's say you're doing your arm movement in the water. You are working both your bicep and your triceps in the water because the water is resisting. Now that only works if your arm is actually submerged in the water and the muscle that you're working is working back and forth between the water. So you can see that's like a double duty, and it's fantastic. I love it. And that's part of why I really love water fitness. Unfortunately, as an instructor, we're usually on deck. We don't get that benefit, but I do get a lot of cardio that way. So if you have questions, please drop them in the comments, and I'm going to see if I can see any questions. I'm so sorry about the writing being backwards. I forgot to flip it. It's a little thing I have to do before I start. But again, it was more for me to remember what I was talking about because I could talk for hours. There's so much on this topic to cover that it could take me forever and ever and ever to finish it all. And I will continue to do lives and explain the best I can. But if you have questions, that always helps jog my memory. So shoot me some questions, whether it's now or later. You can, again, please, hit the like button. Make sure if you're watching in a replay, you do a little hashtag replay. That helps other people see the video. And I certainly appreciate you being here with me. And I'm always here for questions. I am on the journey with you. So anything I can do to help you along, let's do it together. All right, my loves. Again, next free challenge is coming up October 1st. So make sure that if you want to get in on that you let me know. I will start the group soon so I can start adding people to it. And then we'll start October 1st. This time I will make sure I have both a weights workout and a body weight workout. Okay? All right, let me know if you need anything, and if you have questions, again, put them in the comments. I love y'all. Have a great night. Bye. You are very welcome. Bye.